Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time
on Critical Hit.
And she turns and looks at you and says, I bet you're wondering how you got here, huh?
Could have sworn I saw something moving out there in that fog.
I remember it being somebody wearing a deer skull as a mask.
As you realize the seriousness of your situation, something slowly crawls up the hill towards the cave. So you've all remembered the events of the last couple of hours. You're kind of caught up, and you are all tied up in a cave, arms behind your backs. Feels like rope. Some of you suffered some injuries. You remember that some of you have suffered some injuries. And there is a woman, and you recognize her as Evelyn Carter. There is a fire going in the cave. And she is going through books, and she's looking up, and I see that you're awake. The great NATO said that the memory would only make you, the memory loss would only last an hour. So welcome back.
So, what do you want with us?
I just want to be uninterrupted.
Oh, I see.
And you being here could potentially cause, I need to find my cousin. He's lost, and the only way that I can do that is by opening a portal to the Dreamlands and bring him back.
Yeah. Do you know what happened to the last guy who opened a portal to the Dreamlands?
Yes, my cousin, Carter. He went in to rescue the princess and never came back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to open a portal and hopefully find him.
What makes you think you'll be able to come back?
I've studied his writings. I've studied the craft. I have, obviously, the book that I need. And she holds up a book. That the name of the book that you can read it says the Noptic Manuscripts.
Yeah.
And I should be able to open it up, and it should open right where he's at, and he should be able to come right through. And she looks at a little watch that's on her wrist. The time is almost here. I must prepare. And she walks out of the cave. All of you are alone in the cave. There's a fire going. There's a pile of texts. And you can see by the light of the fire over by one of the walls are your weapons that you were carrying are now piled up.
We can't tell if you think we tied with rope?
Yes.
What
do I have like yeah, do I have like a utility? You know what I'm talking about? Like what do you call
like
those?
A pen knife or a pocket knife?
Yeah, like a pocket knife.
Since all of your stuff is piled over in the corner, we would need to find out if she just passed over your pocket knife. So why don't you roll a
stealth?
Yeah, I was going to say stealth or observation.
I mean, I'm better at observation.
All right, why don't we do observation? And the coordination part is you being able to fumble around and see if you can reach into your pocket with both of your hands tied behind your back. Should have been athletics, but we'll let it go. We'll do a D1 on this.
Okay.
Hey, 2 successes.
3 successes.
Very good.
Wow.
You are now at maximum momentum.
Nice.
Yeah, sure enough. You reach in and you can feel with one of your fingers your little tiny penknife that you always carried around to clean your fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Because, being who you are, you want to make sure that you are presentable at all times. I mean, Valentino knows this.
What am I, a farmer?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Blisco. With a little bit of effort, with a little bit of effort, you can wiggle the knife out of your pocket and open the blade.
Right. I cut my rope if I can.
Unfortunately, because of the angle, it's going to be almost impossible for you to cut your rope.
Who's closest to me?
Sure.
Let's go. Turn around.
Okay. It's going to take, this is a small pocket knife, even though you do keep it relatively sharp. The rope is, your average, not thin nylon rope. So it's going to take a little bit of time for you to cut through Blisco's rope.
Okay.
Doc and Valentino, are you guys trying to do anything?
Would there be any, sharp outcroppings on this cave wall that...
Sure, let's do an observation check.
Okay.
Let's do an observation plus insight.
Excellent.
A D1.
One success.
Very good. That's all you needed. This looks like a natural cave. So there's a lot of stalactites, stalagmites that have been developing over the centuries that this cave has been here. It does look like this cave has been used before for ritual performances or something. And sure enough, you see within your reach, you can find a rock that flintstone rock that has a sharp enough edge that you can begin cutting away at your own rope, because it's right there against the wall, and you can just kind of rub your arms back and forth and start cutting away.
Yep, I'll start working on that and hope I just get the rope and not me.
Okay. Okay, well, now that you said that, now I've got to call you out on that. Let's do a coordination plus athletics. D1.
Oh, no.
You've done this to yourself, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean,
I think I'm going to take one of those there momentums.
All right.
well. Probably a good plan.
3. Whoa, 4 successes.
4 successes. All right. This stone is a lot sharper than you thought, and you are making much faster time than Dutch and Blisco. Doc, you suddenly feel something skittering past you, like up against your thigh, and it moves behind you. And you suddenly start feeling what feels like sandpaper rubbing on your hand.
Ew.
It's a cat.
Is it rubbing on my hand or is it rubbing on my ropes?
Good observation, Valentino. You look and you see something that looks like it once was a cat licking Doc's hand. This cat is black. It's got like one yellow eye kind of just staring out into, I don't know, something in the cave. It's not like staring straight ahead. It's like whoop out to the like a 45-degree up angle. And its other eye socket is like rotted and decayed. And you can see from the angle that you're at, part of the flesh of the cat's body is missing. And you can see a rib cage through that missing part of its body.
I'm going to try and get it to bite through my ropes.
What would you say to this cat to try to get it to bite through your ropes? Is there something in your past that you remember? Is there something from your past that you may remember this thing from?
Oh shit, this is your cat.
Oh,
did this cat get some green color?
No way. Is this my cat?
Well, let's roll a memory check and find out, just to be safe.
I'm going to roll a memory. What's a memory check?
I guess we're looking at reason plus. We'll just do observation. Reason plus observation. D1. The cat stops licking your hand, and it just is like.
I have 1 success.
All right. Yeah, you remember this. This is one of your early experiments using Dr. West's book. That you thought you had killed it when the cat came back not quite right. And you thought that you had gotten rid of it by tossing it out of your dorm window. And
Okay.
you just realize that maybe that cat wasn't fresh enough.
Right. Yeah, because I remember now he was hit by a car. His name is actually Monsieur Boeuf la Tête, which is French for Mr. Beefhead. So I'm going to speak to the cat, and I'm going to say, "Mord la corde," and
The
see if he
cat.
will bite the rope.
Well, he starts to bite into your hand at first, and then
Right.
if you move, you can get the rope between your hand and its mouth, and it starts chewing on the rope.
All right.
And you can hear, as it's chewing on the rope, you hear this really bizarre, it sounds like purring, but you're not sure if it's purring or if the cat is crying in pain.
Aww.
Or maybe it's both.
Everyone can see this thing, right?
Everyone can, Valentino can see it because he's next to Doc. Doc maybe can't see it because it's behind him, but he knows the feeling of a cat. And of course, Valentino said it was a cat. And you guys heard it was a cat, but neither you nor Blisco can see it because you're on the other side of Valentino.
Okay.
Right. So you know there's a cat.
Yeah.
The true horror is yet to be.
Cat don't quite seem right.
Yeah, that cat definitely doesn't seem right, Valentino.
No, that's not it. Yeah.
It kind of smells. You guys all notice an odor in the cave now, like rotting, decayed flesh.
It's been dead for about 6 years.
It's probably 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, but teeth and bones still sharp.
There you go. And within a few minutes, everybody is able to cut themselves loose or loosen their rope enough to get their hands free to untie their legs.
Am I wearing gloves?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's cold outside. It is wintertime. So were you wearing gloves?
Probably, yeah.
Make it a little bit harder for the cat to lick your hand.
That's a good point.
That sandpapery.
But it is winter,
cat's tongue.
So I can put on my gloves.
Sure, you reach into your pocket and you find a pair of gloves. Yeah, and it kind of rubs up against you, and that purring, crying sound gets louder. It's more like a. That's the sound that it makes when it's rubbing up against you, but you can tell it's trying to do it somewhat affectionately.
Yeah.
So you are all three standing in a cave. There is a fire here. There's your pile of things there. There's a undead cat near you. Evelyn has walked out of the cave with all of the books.
Yeah, Dutch will go over and get his stuff, weapons, and
so are you guys only using handguns, or did you bring your rifles with you?
I think we brought everything this time.
Yeah.
Okay. You are all fully loaded.
Yeah. I got a shotgun.
How important do y'all think it is that she not open this breach?
So my concern is that this will almost certainly go wrong, and then we might lose the book in the Dreamlands, right? Because she has, we believe, the book that we're looking for, right?
But is that much of a problem if it's no longer available to them?
That's a good question.
Seriously, how smart do you think Myrna Loy is over there? Like, truly. She figured it out. What I don't want to have to do is to figure it out myself and go chasing after that book in there. Because you know who will go chasing after that book in there?
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably got plenty of disposable troops that they'd send in after it.
Yeah. Not to mention, they got us beat as far as people who know their way around magic, so.
And also, I don't think I can let a teenage girl feed herself to horrors from beyond time and space.
Yeah. As long as what we're dealing with is from this side of things, we should be okay. By the way, what is that?
It was a cat.
So I see.
This is why I am no longer, or rather was not allowed to complete my matriculations. Well, not just this.
Yes, one of the reasons why.
Yes, this this is part of it. And by the way, it was not an axe. She said that was clearly just a fire hatchet. It was never mind. It's a cat, Monsieur Berfletet. I'm actually standing here torn between thanking it for saving me and shooting it right in the head.
You put it out of its misery?
We're out of ours.
What I had thought it was dead long ago, and I mean it was.
It kind of sits down on its butt, and it kind of puts its. You guys have seen a cat like sit up like a human.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of does that, and it's just kind of looking around with its tongue hanging out, and that one eye just bulging out, and kind of looking around the room, not looking at you guys. And it's like,
does it seem to be suffering?
I mean, it's walking. It didn't attack you. It didn't kill you. It seems to just be walking around. It seems to have tracked you down over many miles from Arkham to here. So I don't think it's suffering. You could do a medical check if you wanted to. I mean, if you have time.
I don't think we have time for that now.
Yeah, maybe we should worry about that.
If you don't think the cat's dying or currently suffering, then let's just leave it.
It died already. There's no chance of it dying again. So, yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it for now. We'll come back later and see if it's still here, assuming we don't all get, killed.
Yeah. By God knows what.
Yep. All right, let's roll.
Let's go.
All right. You walk out of the cave and you find yourselves in a clearing on top of Sentinel Hill. The snow lays about on the ground, and in front of you, you see a circle of stones with carvings in them, forming a circle. There are 6 of them. Standing in the middle of the ring of stones is Evelyn Carter, and she has a book open and she is reciting out loud. Old gods of the universe, obey my request. Yog-Sothoth, the beast with 1,000 young. Cthulhu, Asmodeus.
Someone shoot her.
R'lah, R'lah, R'lah. And then you hear her start chanting, and you see on the ground in front of her, this portal just opens up. And through that portal, you see what looks like daylight, rolling green hills, flowers, beautiful clouds floating through the air, or at least that one thing looks like a cloud. Cousin, can you hear me? Now the doorway is open. Come through. And the cloud that you see floating starts to get closer. And it starts to get closer. That doesn't look quite like a cloud. It looks like a thing. And now Evelyn sees it too. Hurry, brother, hurry! Something is coming! And before anyone can do anything, something emerges through the portal.
Ah!
This giant monstrosity comes floating through the portal. It is hard to describe. It's purple. It's slick. It's dripping with something. It's got pulsing polyps all over itself. It's got a lot of mouths and a lot of tentacles. And Evelyn screams, "Oh my God, what is that thing?" Everybody, please give me a will plus resistance. This is a D2.
And
Will plus resilience.
Yeah, resilience. Sorry.
Yep.
I would like to use a momentum on this.
Okay.
I think I might as well if we are full up.
I'm going to take a
Ugh.
free die as per my talent.
Okay.
I'll also take momentum.
Okay. Uh-oh. Carlos.
Two
Two
successes,
successes,
and a
but a
complication,
complication. So if you would, let me roll some damage here for you.
Oh.
Oh no. This is going to go for Brian as well. You were not prepared for this
No
giant thing. You were not prepared for this thing to come out at you. And you will need to take. Oh well, you're all dead.
That tracks.
1, 2, 3. You need to take. Each of you need to take 1 mental stress. I'm going to cut it in half because it's not. You succeeded, but there's a complication. So you all who've had the complication suffer from a massive blast to your brain. Now, Brian, you had 0 successes. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, man. So you need to, instead of 1, you need to take 3 mental stress. And Blisco, you also need to take 3 mental stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courage still applies.
Yes. Any courage that you have will negate that.
Okay, so I'll soak the 1 I'm taking.
Okay. And Doc, you succeeded. Blisco, you have 0 courage, so you have to take the 3. So you're now down to, what is that, 8? And Brian,
Yeah.
you only suffered 1, so you're down to 12.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. You are in combat. Who would like to go first? This is a large flying creature that has emerged from this portal.
Let me take a shot at it before we expend Blisco's bug zapper to see if there's any nonsense that we need to account for.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
I suppose.
All
right. I'll take a momentum and
4 momentum left.
Coordination and fighting, right?
Coordination and fighting, you want to do for a ranged attack. Yeah, coordination and fighting.
I'm going to take a shot at it with my rifle.
Okay. Yeah, whatever does the most damage. That's what I would...
3 successes.
Nice. You may roll for damage.
So that's 6 for the rifle plus 1 for my insight. Well, yeah, the insight version.
Oh, yeah, your insight, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then do you have guns as your talent?
I have handguns. So
okay.
Yeah, I could have actually, if I shot him with my handgun, I could have actually gotten an additional success here.
No, handgun's too far away.
Yeah, so that's okay. So 7 damage dice.
So each effect is also going to be a damage, so you've got a total of 8 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I think so.
All right. You caused it instantly. You shot one of its giant bug eyes out. Pow! And the night echoes with the ringing of your guns, and you hear some hooty owls in the trees going hoo-hoo as they fly off into the night. You have damaged this creature.
It's made of meat, boys.
It is made of some kind of meat. Who would like to go next?
Sure.
All right, Blisco, what are you going to do?
Do I still have a regular rifle? I do still have a regular rifle.
You do. But you could use your big zappy gun if you want. I mean, this thing is pretty big. And
I feel like this is a situation that really calls for zapkification.
I concur.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do zappy then. My
coordination and fighting, D2.
There we go.
I mean, if a 40-foot purple slug from another dimension doesn't require the Zappy Kablamicus. What does?
Why do we even have a zap gun?
Exactly.
For things that don't take damage from normal rifles?
I'm sure we can get some magical crystals somewhere between here and the next mission.
All right. Well, Zappy.
Hey, 2 successes. Exactly what you needed. Very good. Roll for damage.
It is also piercing 1.
All
Piercing
right.
1.
Piercing 1. Okay. So that is... Okay. That thing kind of recoils and screams and utters something very loud that you don't understand, but it is horrifying and terrifying. Okay. Who would like to go next?
How far could I move after that?
You could move the distance of 1 yellow line. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares.
There's yellow line? Oh.
Up at the very top, I've put a couple of indicators. So green is close, yellow is normal, and red is extreme range.
Oh, thank God. I thought those were its life bars.
5. Okay. I'm going to pop over here to try and scatter us because this thing's big and can probably just flop and land on us.
Yep. It is still floating in the air. I think Valentino or Doc.
What is the range on the shotgun? Do I need to move in closer to shoot at the face?
Shotgun, I believe, if you look, is a close range weapon.
So close range is what, within 10?
You would need to be like up here.
Okay. Doc's gonna... Well, I can't move me. Crud.
You should be able to.
Make sure you're on the arrow and not the hand.
Oh. Well, crap. How about that?
Here
Here?
would be...
Here?
Yeah.
That's pretty awful. Shoot him in the face. I'm going to run up, shoot him in the face, then I'm going to run away.
Okay, you point your shotgun at it and you say...
Die, slug!
Okay. Roll.
I think I shall borrow a... Did we burn all our momentum?
Nope.
No.
Got 4 left. Hey, 4 successes. Very good.
Hey.
You got 2 momentum back, so you now have 5. Please roll for damage. As you say, die, slug, die. You pull the trigger on your shotgun, and...
So I have a +2 from my insight. That doesn't count for damage, right?
That's 2 extra dice that you get to roll.
Okay. So that would make it 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Believe so.
Let's see.
All right, there you go.
+3 effects. Would that be 8 damage? Or would that be 5 damage?
That is a total of 8. I mean, you rolled for 8 damage. But those, the pellets definitely hit their target.
Uh-huh.
It screams, but Valentino.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start heading the opposite way of Blisco and shooting with my rifle.
Okay.
12. I think I'll take a momentum.
Okay. Takes you down to 4.
Also, I forget, does this have the... What's it, vicious? Or no?
Your shotgun?
What is the rifle?
Yeah, the rifle.
The Lee Enfield rifle has salvo of vicious and a quality is reliable. But
right.
Steven's basically been giving us vicious this whole time.
Yeah, because otherwise you guys would be dead.
I see. Well,
or these fights would go on for a couple of days. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and then do a salvo if you want.
Oh, but...
oh, no.
Oh,
you missed completely, and you have a complication. The one remaining giant eye, that one that's blinking. Aren't you glad, Rob, that I used an animated monster?
Yeah.
That one blinking eye turns and looks right at you, Valentino. If you would, you kind of freak out and you take 1 mental stress. Your courage can soak it, but there's a shiver that goes through your body as this thing turns towards you. Evelyn is like...
It's not animated.
Oh, it's not for you? Is it for everybody else?
You can turn those off and on in the settings.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
I mean, that's good.
I'm turning it off again.
Reasonable. It is not pleasant.
It's gross. We're done here.
Evelyn is frantically flipping through the books. This is not right. Carter, where are you? Randolph, Carter. She's screaming as she's flipping through the book. This isn't right. This isn't right. And because of your complication, Valentino, the thing floats over closer to you and tries to reach out with its big tongue thing that's sticking out of its mouth. We need to do a hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
So that is agility and fighting.
Gross. This really has not been working out for me so far. Do we still got the momentum to burn?
Yes.
Yeah, we got. I'll do it again. Eventually, I'll get it right.
Okay.
Yeah, punch it in the uvula.
That's not the uvula.
Yeah, there we go. Two successes.
2 successes. All right. Its tongue lashes out at you, but fortunately, it misses. It does grab a tree that's over your head and grabs a large chunk of it and just draws it into its giant mouth and like a tree that's bigger than you. It's probably the part of the tree that it broke off was about the size of the car you drove here. There's a giant floating polyp monster feet from you, Valentino. It is the top of the round. It is your turn. Or your team's turn.
Please nuke it from orbit.
Yeah, I'll try shooting it again.
Okay. You have 3 momentum left.
Well, I'll let someone else who's better at this shooting stuff spend it. Maybe not. I'm a miss again.
Miss. Another miss. It shoots off, clips off one of its slimy appendages and goes flying out into the night, maybe striking a tree on the other side of the grove.
Rob, what's your shooting? 14?
14.
Okay.
And then
I was gonna say if Brian's is 12, you're not that much worse than the rest of us.
I mean, I have been pumping it up.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, Blisco, you see this thing try to lash out at your friend. Misses, fortunately, swallows a huge chunk of tree.
Should I go ahead and use a momentum at this point?
Yes.
Might as well. I mean,
Okay.
You don't waste it, right? Because if you get more successes than you need, it'll just come right back.
Yeah, it just replenishes. Yeah.
I'll use the 1 momentum then.
Hey, 2 successes. Very good. The prototype X1 is humming in your hand.
Wham. 8 damage.
8 damage. Very good.
Is there any chance that I could travel around, like, say, in this direction to try and get closer to Evelyn and also shoot the beastie?
You can either try to get close to Evelyn or you can try to shoot the beast.
Okay, I will shoot the beastie.
Okay. What do you want to do by getting close to Evelyn?
I wanted to see if I could maybe get the book from her, although I doubt that that's going to do anything other than, getting the book from her. Oh, it started animating again. I don't like it. I don't like it, you guys. It's gross.
I don't think we're supposed to.
Well,
it has a real 90s real monsters kind of
a little bit,
air to it.
Kind of does. Oh wait, so I want the alligator to try and eat the 15 or not eat the 15.
Eat the 15.
Eat the 15.
Eat the 15. Okay, the little alligator wants the 15. Got it. Okay, I literally can't look at that thing. It's triggering my trypophobia, you guys. Okay. Boom. 2 successes.
Hey, 2 successes. Very good. Your shotgun goes off. Kabam! Right into the side of the monster.
See, I don't like the way you say that. Because it implies that nothing's happening.
I don't know. You haven't rolled damage, so I can't tell you whether it did or not.
Although, I do have a question. Since now we've shot it several times, is there a way for us to infer if it has armor as a stat?
I mean, you have seen Blisco. I will say this: you have seen Blisco use the lightning gun before. not the prototype X1. And you know that when something gets hit by that lightning gun, it does massive damage.
Right.
Blisco hit the creature how many times? Blisco twice now with the lightning gun. And it seems to have taken some damage, but it doesn't seem like it looks like it's shrugging off a lot of that damage.
Right. But that gun is explicitly a piercing weapon,
Exactly
right?
the
So
same.
it reduces their... Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I see.
Thick rubber.
And there's not really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
10.
9, 10. Wow. Yeah, you blast a nice big hole in the side of this thing, and like slime, because you're like right next to it, slime and innards and everything comes splashing out all over you.
Fortunately, Doc is immune.
No, you're not immune to slime and stuff. I mean, fortunately, it's not like acid blood or anything like that. It's not like a xenomorph creature. But yeah, that you're covered in slime and gross.
I'm sorry,
innards.
I can't hear a word you're saying until I turn off the graphics. Hang on.
Is that everybody? Did everybody go, or is Dutch? Do you still need to go?
I still need to go. Am I still within rifle range?
Shotgun distance.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I will aim, spend a momentum,
Okay, you have 1 momentum left.
and take a shot with my coordination plus fighting, which is 14.
Oh, 1 success and 1 complication.
I would like to reroll that 20.
You
with
may
my
do
aim.
so because you used aim.
A success.
Hey, 2 successes. All right, roll some damage.
Okay.
It seems to be like listing to the side a little bit, almost as if some of its ballast has been released and it's starting to kind of lean to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
So you admit that it's the Hindenburg.
I mean, you haven't lit a match yet.
Right. Did you see the damage there, Steven?
I did. It took some damage. It doesn't like it. Evelyn is starting to say, "This is not right. I need to close the portal." And she's like, "Sisters of the Night, listen to me. Close this portal. Let me be free." But before she can do that, you hear like a rumbling and the ground starts to shake. And Evelyn just starts screaming frantically as before your eyes, she is just squashed to a pulp on the ground and just like indented into the ground, like something stepped on her and squashed her.
Oh, no.
And sure enough, about 5 feet away, you see another, like, looks like a giant, like, those 55 metal gallon drums. It's like an indentation that big just goes whoa, right into the ground. And then another one, another 5 feet away, whoomp, into the ground. The creature that has emerged from the portal reacts really weird when it hears the ground shake, and it wants to kind of move away from whatever that was. And so it's going to move over here, but it is also going to scream at all of you. It does not succeed. It shrieks something out like, "Holy crap, oh crap," kind of thing, if you were to translate that into hideous Lovecraftian monster.
In the old Lovecraftian, it's "Holy crap, it can, no."
I see. Very interesting.
And then let's see, anybody that has anybody that doesn't have any courage, please take 1 mental stress. Is that only you, Rob? Well, you don't, so. Matthew, because your courage is way too high. Dutch's got a level of courage that doesn't affect him. Valentino has 2 courage that doesn't affect him. So I think it only affects you, Rob.
How do I get their courage?
You buy up your will, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Will's one of my lower ones.
Yeah.
Okay, we are back at to the top of the round. Who would like to go next? This creature, again, really is not floating as high as it once was. And when it moved away from Doc, it continued to pour ichor and gross slime and boogers and a part of a tree out of its side.
That's gross. You're a bad person and you're gross. How far can I run?
You can move like a normal speed would be the yellow, which is like 5 squares.
Okay.
So that's the middle one.
Yeah.
So if I run and run and run,
you can get up to here.
I wasn't going towards it. I was trying to get over to Evelyn again.
Oh, well, the other thing is after the creature moved out of the way and whatever came through that portal, Evelyn was able to utter whatever before she was tragically, her young life tragically cut short. She was able to get the portal to close.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then
no person came through the portal.
No visible person.
Nothing. He noticed he didn't say nothing. Just no person.
Yeah, Randolph Carter did not appear.
Unless that purple slug beast is Randolph Carter.
No.
Transformed into a slug. So, I still feel like if she has the book, and
there's a pile of books on the ground scattered around her squashed remains.
I feel like
in the snow.
I feel like somebody should do something about the book.
The trees on the other side of the grove. The trees on the other side of the grove just like get spread apart as if something really huge just passed.
Did we just free a Shoggoth?
We may have just seen a Shoggoth come into the world.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything come into the world.
With feet, though?
You didn't see anything.
We may have just witnessed a Shoggoth come into the world.
Did they make those with feet?
Shoggoth feet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We pretty much saw that before, right?
I thought they were all tentacles.
It had body parts. I mean,
yeah.
They're amorphous globs. So I'm going to run over and see if I can find the book that we're trying to find. Or maybe all the books. I mean, books in the snow.
Okay.
This is wrong.
So you're going to use your entire turn to rush over. You rush over to the remains. It's like, I mean, you've seen as a doctor in training, as someone who has seen the horrors of pre-war up close, as someone who has looked at decayed flesh of zombie monsters and ghouls, you have never seen something like this. This is like purple and strawberry jam in a large puddle with clothing.
Is it creepy enough to give me pause, or is it just like, that's fascinating?
Well, roll a will plus resilience check for me.
Let's find out.
Hey, 2 successes. Yeah, this does not phase you. It's gross in a. I mean, you have reanimated several or attempted to reanimate several things. This pile of jelly that was a former human being does not phase you, which
it's a shame.
Also should concern you.
I mean,
okay, so you scoop up all the books.
I'm going to scoop up all the books. And I'm going to. Okay. Do I have like a bag?
You have finished your turn. You have a pile of books in your arms. There are 8 books that you are now holding. Who would like to go next? There's still a creature in front of you.
Do it.
You're going to do it? Okay. You need to move a little closer, Dutch.
Okay. How much closer?
At least 2 here. At least outside of the green box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll move there. Take a shot.
Okay.
Since we're low on momentum, I'm not going to spend any for that.
You can still use an aim, though, right? Or no, aim is only if you don't
Not
move?
if I move. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how this goes.
Ooh,
double complication.
Double complication.
Yeah.
You slip on the snow, and you slip on the slippery guts and things that are out there, and you're just at the right amount of an incline that you slide right up next to the creature, and it performs It yells at you. It almost startles you, or you have startled it because you slid up to it so fast because of the slick slime and the snow. This is
these things are hideous.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa! It just kind of screams really loud into your face. And it does hit. Okay. And the stuff that comes out of its mouth is just freezing cold. It's like, you've been into winters before. You've been to Scandinavia. You probably even went to Iceland to be part of the longest day festival that was there. This is colder than anything that you've experienced in your travels around. And you take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. One of those is piercing.
Okay. So I'll take all 4 then.
Okay. So that takes you down to what? 8? Is that what you're at?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, 6. You're down to 6. And whatever came out of its mouth while it was blowing, while it was yelling and its cold breath was hitting you in your face. The fact that you just committed a complete goof in slipping, sure-footed Dutch, as what they called you when you were a young child. You just slipped and fell. You are stunned. How could this happen? So you can't move for a turn.
Dang.
Oh.
All right. Blisco, I think you're the only one left.
Bablam?
Dang. Yeah.
Bablam. You raise the prototype X1 and you fire it.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim because I remember that that's a thing. I'm gonna use momentum.
Okay, you're gonna use your final momentum.
Oh, we're down to 1 momentum.
You are down to your last momentum.
Do it anyway.
That's all right.
Yeah, okay.
That's all right. This thing has been listing to the side pretty heavily. Hey, 2 successes.
I would like to re-roll that 20.
Yeah.
Go for
what
it.
Complication?
Well, we'll see.
Well, we'll see.
What complication?
Yep, you 2 successes. So please fire the prototype X1 at this thing.
I liked it better when we called it the shotgun.
And
wow, yeah, you a massive blast. Normally, what you've seen is a lot of bluish lightning coming out of this thing. This time, as you pull the trigger, there's almost like a surge of blue light, followed by a pulse of orange light, followed by a pulse of blue light, and it just rips into this creature and just rips it all the way down the other side from where Doc blasted it, and the creature falls down dead right next to Dutch's feet. You have killed, I don't know, it's not a Shoggoth, that's for sure. But you have killed something that has come through a portal. And after it lands, even though it's cold, even though it's the snow, you can tell it's starting to decompose quickly.
That's probably good.
Go over and help Dutch up / pull away from the melting guck.
Yeah, there you go. Thoughts on what just happened to you, Dutch?
Dutch is stunned. So, no. This is like, what?
Okay.
Somebody get the license plate of that Shoggoth.
Yeah, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Is that a thing we need to worry about?
I mean...
yes, that is a thing that we certainly need to worry about.
But is it necessarily a thing that we can do anything about?
Last time we faced off against a Shoggoth, it basically ate our lunch.
Yeah, well.
And you could see it.
And we could see it.
And everyone has told you multiple times.
And some of us could see it.
Right. And everyone has told you multiple times you did not meet a Shoggoth.
Because we'd be dead, right?
Yes.
That's what they're saying? Okay.
Yes. Everyone else, the military has said, oh yeah, that's a Shoggoth. But the people who have met Shoggoths are like, oh no, you did not meet a Shoggoth.
All right. Well.
Oh, that was one of the miniature poodle Shoggoths. Yeah.
It was definitely a proto-Shoggoth.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's get to a phone and call the...
Brigadier.
Well, this time let's call the general first.
Okay. Yeah, let's call the local. Yeah. Cool.
Because we might have just loosed a Shoggoth on the hills of Maine.
You guys do it though. I think my good ear is going to be ringing for a while.
It takes you a little while to kind of get your bearings, because the last thing you remember, you were kind of walking up Sentinel Hill, but then you really literally black out. You don't remember being tied up or put into the cave or anything. So it takes you a moment to find the path back down the hill, but you're all able to walk together going down the hill. Doc, you have 8 books in your hand, and you hear a behind you, and Beefeater is following you down the hill.
Okay. Tell you what, I'll grab the books. You put your pet in your backpack.
No.
No?
I don't want it touching me.
Oh, you're just going to leave it here?
No, we can probably just put it in the trunk.
Well, someone's going to have to pick it up to put it in the trunk.
Not it.
Nah, we'll just open the trunk. It'll jump in. It was a cat.
Okay.
Well, it was. Mostly.
Yeah, you are able to make it back down to your car. You do find it where you remember leaving it. Everything looks normal. You throw the cat into the trunk and close the door. It doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. It's not like fighting or hissing or trying to kill anybody that tries to pick it up. And you are able to get into the car and start to drive back to town.
Okay.
Interesting. This is really an interesting area, right? I mean, the Miskatonic Valley is very beautiful, even in the winter, even at night, even as the moonlight is coming out from behind the clouds and shining its silvery bluish light on the countryside. This is very pretty, even though it feels like it's hiding monstrosities behind every corner.
Right.
And I'm sorry. By the way, as you guys turn a corner,
oh God,
you see in the road ahead of you a car blocking the road. It's like it's a truck knocked on its side. If you guys remember, and you kind of do, even though you do have some faulty memories, this truck is familiar to you.
Is it the one we were following?
It was the farmer's truck. It was definitely the truck that you were following that didn't have the farmer in it. And on the ground, lying in the ground in the middle of the road, is a body dressed in black.
Like a uniform black?
No, like a black suit.
Okay.
The weird thing is, though,
uh-oh,
as you round the corner and come to a stop, you see 2 big round lights looking right back at you. And it looks like it was hunched over it. So it's like this thing kind of turns around and you see these big double red lights glowing back at you. And as it completely spins around, it looks like a giant moth with arms and legs. You are still in combat, where you have entered a new round of combat.
Oh,
you're the guys. You guys are the ones that created the Mothman and put him into this.
Guys.
The Mothman is the one that is here now.
Listen, the Mothman goes where it wants. Clearly, it found its way into your game. We just identified him.
You just identified it. Okay. You have 0 momentum. There is a Mothman in the middle of the road, and you can't move forward because there's a truck blocking the road. There is a man lying. It looks like a man, a body lying in the road, and there is a submachine gun next to him.
I'll kick open the door and aim through the window, basically using the door as cover.
Sure.
And
so you can definitely use that for cover. So that will give you what was it?
It's like
One?
it gives me. You determine, but it gives me like
okay.
an extra
Sure,
point of armor, like 1 or 2 or whatever.
It gives you 1. I just rolled a 6-sided die. It came up 1. So if anybody wants to use the car door as cover, it will give you 1 armor protection.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I believe cover or exploiting cover is sort of its own action, so I don't think I can aim.
No. I'll let you aim if you want.
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah.
I'll be nice. I'm your benevolent GM.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He said after throwing a Mothman in our face.
I mean, literally, I rolled 2 complications and I got moved, hit, and like squished in one go. So the pendulum swings. All right, I'm gonna take a shot at this.
Okay.
Yep. 1 success.
Only 1 success. Yeah, it goes wild and shoots out the headlight of the truck that's on its side. So with the battery still going on this truck, this probably is fairly fresh accident.
Blisco's driving.
I mean, he doesn't have to. He's behind the wheel. The car is stopped.
And the 2 of us are in the back seat.
Yep.
Right.
And there's a cat in the trunk.
What if I let out the cat and
you would have to get out of the car first?
Stick him.
You would have to get out of the car first and use your entire move.
Love to chase moths.
I suppose that's true.
Is that what you're going to do?
Well, I don't know if I have any weapons that will go that far.
You have a shotgun.
Will it go that far?
You can get up close to it. You can get close to it.
Well,
you would have to move up half the distance to shoot it with your shotgun.
I don't.
You'd have to move up to here.
Like, burn my face off. I'm going to run up here. Like, blam, blam.
All right.
I'm going to go blam, blam. It's going to be...
Yeah, go blam, blam, and then pull the trigger on your shotgun.
2 successes.
Hey, very good. Roll some damage, please, for this creature.
I'm gonna go kaping, 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 and then I'm gonna actually calculate some damage. I get 9 if I'm reading that right.
Dang.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. You put a big old hole in one of its moth wings.
Oh man, is it moving?
Yeah, it's moving. It doesn't like
inflatable?
That you shot it.
Is this an inflatable fake Mothman? Because saying something made it true last time.
It moves up close to you.
Ah, dang!
And it attacks with a hand-to-hand. So if you'll do a hand-to-hand combat, Matthew, which is agility and fighting, I'm going to use one of my threats.
Does that mean? Well, we don't have any monument, do we? Nope. So
nope.
2 successes.
This thing lashes out at you and it strikes you with its taloned claw. And one of these is piercing.
So if you had 2
1
armor,
damage,
one piercing.
One goes through the armor, regardless.
Okay.
So take 1 physical damage.
Got it.
Yeah. So the way I believe piercing work is each effect that is rolled lowers your armor by the amount of piercing.
Got it.
So if you've got 2 armor and he rolls 2 effect, then actually that would completely nullify your armor.
Right. So if he had 2 piercing and he rolled 2 effects, then that would be 4 piercing to nullify even more armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I show you have 0 armor.
I do have 0 armor. I was just asking.
Okay. That's academic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm the academic. The armor thing had come up before, and you said one of those was piercing, and I didn't understand.
Yeah, in case you had armor, Rodrigo.
Right.
Rodrigo knows, since he has armor, and I think Blisco also has armor. No,
yes.
Blisco also has armor.
Also, I have the ability of give piercing to my attacks, but yeah, it costs 2 momentum to do. When do we ever have 2 momentum to spare?
Right?
Well, you did earlier, but
yeah. Now imagine if I had eaten 2 of that before the rest of us just burnt it.
Valentino or Blisco?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
Aim the regular rifle at it and blam.
Okay. Are you stepping out of the car? Are you leaning out of the car like some cool gangster guy that you saw in one of your movies?
I'll step out of the car.
Okay. You shout anything at the creature that just punched one of your friends?
No. Just
Thanks.
I could. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I can see
Go
Blisco
back
stepping
to Point
out.
Pleasant, you jerk.
Yeah, kind of.
Just like-
Blisco's kind of squatty, right? I could just see him get out and slam the car door and kind of like pull up his pants and kind of take a step forward and raise his shotgun or his rifle and shoot the thing.
Open the door, step out, set the rifle on top of the door, pull the trigger.
Hey, one success and one complication. Did you aim
Like
though,
to
right?
roll that complication, please.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I forgot to re-roll because Steven let me aim.
Yeah.
Yay, success.
Hey, 2 successes. Please do some damage.
Yay. This is the regular one, so it is less. It is the same amount of damage.
Ah, dang it.
8.
8. There you go. You shoot it and you hit the moth creature square in its chest, and it goes flying back dead.
Caw! Oh no, never missing.
I regret nothing, it shouts. I will get you again.
You okay, Doc?
Beware the Mothman.
Been better, been worse.
I'll
Approach this guy on the ground.
Okay, you walk up to the man that's lying on the ground, and it's a man, white
Is he
guy,
dead?
wearing a black suit. There's a submachine gun on the ground next to him.
Is it loaded?
2 ways to find out.
Yoink!
You
All
now
right,
have
I'm
a
going to do it.
submachine gun.
I'm doing it the military way. I'm going to look down the barrel.
Ejected.
I don't see any bullets in there.
I mean, we could roll to find out.
That's true. We're military.
I'll go over
insight-
to the guy
insight-
as well.
Insight plus athletics, please, Matthew.
Insight plus athletics, just to check and see, is this loaded?
Oh, I'm sorry, agility plus athletics. Sorry,
Wait, are you having me try and shoot it?
you picked it up and looked down the barrel.
No, I didn't. I just described how that would work. I'm going to use my
Agility,
extensive
athletics.
military training. Oh, you suck. Once upon a time.
Hey, one
one
success. It does not fire in your face. It is a loaded gun.
Thank you.
All right, Dutch, what were you doing? You
I'll
have one
check the-
submachine gun, Doc.
Yep. I'll check
you-
the guy, see if he has any ID.
Yeah, roll observation and insight, D1.
2
Okay,
successes.
2 successes. You get 1 momentum back.
Yay.
You now have 1 momentum. Yeah, front pocket, back pocket, you don't find anything. When you start to look in his jacket pocket, his front pockets, you don't find anything. You know that all fine jackets, like the suit this man is wearing, has an inner pocket. You reach in and you pull out a wallet that says his name is Bill Smith.
Mhm.
But you also pull out 2 passports. One is a U.S. passport that says Bill Smith, and you pull out another passport that is a German passport that says Otto von Schlitz.
What?
I'll flash the German passport to the other guys. Be like, see?
I'm good. At least they're getting some casualties tonight.
Yeah, looks like the local wildlife has something to say about Nazis too. Is the creature like doing anything weird, like decomposing in the way that the other one did, or anything like that?
No. This looks like a giant bird thing that you have killed. It
Okay.
probably is not very tasty.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't that curious about it.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look like any kind of horror from beyond that you've encountered. This looks like some kind of native fauna.
Freaky. Let's move the car or the truck out of the way so we can continue
Okay,
down the
go.
road.
How are you going to do that?
Is it on its side?
Kind of is.
Oh,
I mean, you
it
could
got-
probably write it up fairly easily.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll try to flip it back over.
The 4 of you can easily flip it upright.
and then we'll just like put it on neutral, right? And then
you
just
open up the
slide it
cab
away.
door. You open up the cab door, and there in the cab is the farmer that you guys helped earlier.
Oh no.
He has a bullet in his head.
Awful.
Yeah. And you are able to push the truck off the road into the snowy ditch, and you are able to get back into your car and continue on your merry way.
So we got all the books.
You do have eight. You have 8 books.
I'll look at all the books. Like not read through them, but I'll look at the covers and note
one of them obviously is the let me find all my list of books here. One of them obviously the Noctic is the Noctic manuscripts. That's the one that Evelyn was reading from when the unspeakable happened.
Mm-hmm.
You do find something that you can translate from the French called Mysteries of the Worm.
Oh.
By Ludwig Prin.
Okay.
There's another
WORM.
WORM, yep.
Okay.
There's another one called the Book of Eibon, EIBON. If you flip through this, you can see that this one is just full of spells and rituals and weird drawings.
Okay. I try not to read it.
Yeah, don't definitely. There's another one that's also in French that is, when you translate it, says Cults of the Ghouls by D'Urlte or D'Urlte. Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It said ghouls, not girls, Blisco.
Blisco's.
Exactly.
I was going to say, Blisco actually swings that way, in that he got bitten by a ghoul.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's one that in German says like "On Aussprechlichen Kulten," translated from the German is "Nameless Cults," written by Friedrich von Junz or Junz. There is another version of the Book of Eibon, but this one is written in like Latin. The other one was English.
The rare Latin variant.
Yeah. Well, one of the things about esoteric tomes as they're passed around, they do get translated quite a bit into the language of the current culture or the culture that has the book, so they can easily access it for knowledge. Oftentimes, though, those translations are inferior because the translation is written in hand and it's translated by the person who assumes they understand the language that is spoken. And so one of the things that I'm sure that Valentino probably has figured out in talking to Antoine is that oftentimes, unless it's in the original language, scholars tend to treat the translations as flawed, but still valuable. There is something that is just called the relay text or the relay text. It's hard. It's a really weird word, even for you Dutch to understand. Then there's another book called the Xanthu Tablets. This one looks to be really, really old. It's surprising that after it's made its trip from the library and fallen in the snow and probably been stepped on by some unseen force, this book is kind of barely holding itself together. And then the very last book that you find is a simple black leather book. It's the smallest of all of the books. It has no title on it, but on the spine, down at the very bottom of the spine, you see a circle with a dot and a cross on top. The music plays. Da 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 da.
Nice. I'll hand that to Valentino.
Okay, Valentino, you now have a mask, and you have a book, and somewhere in France is a orb. I think that's it, right? Just the 3 artifacts so far?
That we knew of. There's still one in Russia.
Right.
But we haven't gotten to that one.
Oh no,
So
you actually have 4. Also, somewhere in France, around the Brigadier's neck, is the amulet, the one that protects.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, if we're getting into non part of the poem stuff, right? Or is that?
No, look at it. The poem. It says one that for protection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. I don't think any of us had put that together yet.
Oh,
I did.
well, then spoiler alert.
No, I thought that was like, didn't you make that connection out loud, Stephen?
I mean, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Spoiler alert. But anyway, the Brigadier is still
wait a
very
minute.
interested in this.
This is like how Loki's scepter randomly became that other
MacGuffin?
Yep.
Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we're not gonna make 14 movies about this, right? We're just gonna make 6.
Yeah. One to speak with spirits, that's the mask. One to shield from harm, that's the necklace.
Okay.
One hidden in a ship, yeah. One to reveal secrets, that's a mystical orb. That's the glass orb that you have. One to control the elements, one to unlock charm.
Mm-hmm.
That is the book. One in plain sight and one from open fight.
One in plain sight.
Yep.
Whoa. I wonder if it's the Eiffel Tower.
I mean, that would be rad.
Yeah.
Question, Stephen.
Also, given the history, that would be terrible. Like the history that our characters haven't gone through yet.
Yeah.
Stephen, I counted 9 books. Unless the 2 copies of the Book of Iban count as 1.
Oh, maybe you guys didn't see the smaller book. I think I rattled off 8 books.
I got Noctic Manuscripts, Mysteries of the Worm, Book of Iban, the first.
Latin, yeah.
Cults of the Ghouls. Nameless Cults. Book of Iban 2.
Right.
Ryla Text, Santu Tablets, and then the 9th being the Black Leather book.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. 9 books. Weird.
Obviously, the 2 versions of the Book of Iban are the same.
Maybe. Or maybe this book was so small it just got lost in the pile and you thought it was 8 books.
Yeah.
Or maybe the GM wasn't counting correctly and just slipped an extra book in there.
Impossible.
Hey man, we don't deal in reality here.
Impossible.
I mean, you guys were just at Sentinel Hill, a nexus point, a soft nexus point between worlds.
You're right.
Soft nexus.
And as we all know, it's very difficult to deal with things that are between 7 and 9 because 7, 8, 9.
Correct. I can't believe you did that. See, even Steven is taken aback.
Yeah. Disgusting.
You also have in your possession a some kind of a hat thingy that makes you grow 2 times your size.
Mm-hmm.
You also have in your possession an undead animal.
Mm-hmm.
You have a prototype X1 gun that fires some kind of lightning rays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you have an assortment of just regular military weapons and sawed-off shotguns.
Right. But now, if we ever need to know how big a room is, we can literally swing a dead cat and see.
I mean, are you really going to do that to your cat?
Poor little Bill? No, Bill's fine. Easy.
Pretty sure there's a talent that's literally you get a dog.
That's how you think of Rob. There's an animal handling trainer thing. See, if you would like to take that talent, you might be able to keep that cat.
It just
well, you didn't.
It turned into a whole thing. We can't do that again.
If you would like to, up your stats to include that talent, you can maybe use that cat in the future.
Ooh, animal handling. Don't I have something in animal handling?
Nope. Rob did.
I have nothing.
And he got rid of it.
Yeah. So survival, called companion. You aren't alone in the wilderness. You have a pet dog that serves as a friend and ally in dangerous times. The dog has the character profile shown here, and right next to it is a little square, and is treated as an allied NPC under your command. When you forage for supplies, your dog looks after itself. If your dog is ever slain by an enemy action or misfortune, you immediately gain a fortune point, and you have a choice between retraining the talent and getting a new dog, or replacing it with a different talent. But that's probably less of an issue.
I feel like I have a focus in science, and since this is a dead cat, it's really less an animal than it is an experiment.
I mean, I don't know if you need to have like dots in a.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure carrying an undead creature around with you is the smartest idea. But you guys
fair.
do what you want to do.
We do have to travel a lot. I'm just saying.
I mean,
these are all the excuses that parents make when their kids want a pet.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, dude, we're going to just be traveling so much. Don't you know it's cold and we don't have the means to just take care of this cat all the time?
I mean,
I think we can keep it, darling.
It's the opposite, I feel, because Matthew doesn't want a companion. He doesn't want to keep the cat. And the rest of us are like, well, you can take a talent for that cat.
I'm just saying, it's a dead cat.
We'll just take him back to headquarters and they can look after it there.
That's what I was thinking. We could turn it over to the Brigadier and he'd be like, bully.
You continue to drive off through the night back towards Dunwich, and that's where we're going to end it. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Steven Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2024 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.